Hey, the lighting's kind of messed up because I'm doing my makeup still for this morning. But Olivia, so I was just thinking about honor. And I want to explain something to you because in that last video I just did, I said something about getting put in your place. And that's the thing. Not everybody has to learn by getting put in their place. Some people are just raised in really rough situations and they learn it through the school of hard knocks. Which I don't know if you'll know that phrase by then, but basically saying tough shit, deal with it. The problem is that the generation of, see, now I can't see my makeup, but I'm trying to get, the generation that would be like my kids' sisters and brothers and stuff, they fortunately, and just like you, were born into a time where everybody has enough food. Even the people like me who grew up on a very small family farm in the middle of nowhere, that we did struggle a lot, but and we went hungry some nights, but for the most part, we weren't like dying all the time. But that causes a problem. And that's why everyone's feeling like this doomsday thing. So I want to explain it to you guys, and hopefully your daddy can kind of explain it to you too, because Landon, when you had a little panic attack feeling some kind of a way, oh, I just panicked. I panicked right along with you, and I freaked out, and I lost all my senses, and I need to stop doing that because you're a little man. And I'm not saying that like you need to be. I'm saying you are. Like you had a really good way about you where you were a little gentleman all the time. So not everybody gets that like inherently, and I think it's because of Pop Pop and his family. Not to discount Daddy, but Daddy's, you know, your grandpa. I freaking love Daddy's dad, Big Mike. I just love that he's Big Mike. But oh God, I wish you had met him. I was pregnant with you, Landon, when he had a stroke, and I remember thinking, oh, I'm so disappointed that he's not going to be able to do it, because I could see it in his eyes when I would go visit him in the hospital. Even without Daddy, I was a very good mommy for a little while, especially while I was pregnant with you. So I was a very good wife, not mommy. Anyway, Olivia, I want to talk to you about the honor thing, because you got it, girl. You've got every freaking thing it takes to be the baddest bitch I've ever met. You're already cooler than I am, and you're just amazing. Sometimes you'll talk to me like, no, and I'll be like, excuse you? You'll be like, sorry, mommy. So you got to keep that sorry, mommy. You better keep that, because you don't want to be sorry, daddy, and you definitely don't want to be sorry, man with some mommy issues. So the reason, and I'm going to put this as PG as I can, Olivia, you did the right thing when Daddy took your voice by letting him. You said, I let Daddy take my voice, but can I start saying vagina again? And I said, yes, that's fine when you're here. But now I'm getting to you're real fucking sneaky. I remember when you said it, the moment you said it, and you're also very, very gullible and so sweet, and I love you. Because this is what happened. You and I were having a conversation after Landon fell asleep next to me, and we were reading the book and blah, blah, blah. And you said, I know that Daddy Cody is your soulmate because God told me. And I was like, really? Did God tell you that? And you were like, yeah, she said, he. And I was like, you did? That's funny. I was like, yeah, I kind of feel that too. And I was like, why am I having a conversation with you? And you were like, I'm really smart. I was like, I love you. You were 4, by the way, when this conversation happened. So I said, oh, that's strong. I said to you, what else did God tell you? And you told me that if I left, that the police were going to chase me, and that there was going to be a point that I would hit where I had to stop, and there was going to be a refrigerator box on the side of the road. If I climbed in and was real quiet, that they would drive by, and then I just wait a few minutes. You just wait like the 1 to the minutes, or maybe some longer. And I was like, you're just trying to figure out like exactly how many minutes, but you don't even know what a minute is. So it's just so cute. And then you said, you like told me the whole thing that would happen. And it's funny because I could like see it. And I was like, yeah, that actually sounds exactly like what it would be. And I was like, is he at the hotel right now? And you said, that's the thing. I don't know. And I was like, yeah, that's part of the problem. I don't want to drive all the way up to Covington. And you were like, well, you go like 1 to 2, or you go the 2 time. And I was like, yeah, it takes 2 hours. And you're like, yeah, so you're fine. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, I'm just trying to have like a very, very grown-up conversation with a 4-year-old right now. And it's so weird. And you told me to take the book. And then you said so sweetly, you went and bragged to Grandma that Mommy was going to save her relationship with your just favorite stepdaddy ever. And you told her. You were the one that started the police. And I love you so much for that, because his mom came out, I was like, that bitch. And she goes, do not call your daughter a bitch. I will defend her. And also, I am calling the police. You get off my property. And Grandma's got some problems. She's got some issues with me. She always tells me I'm holding a grudge because she hasn't forgiven herself for something. And I realized the other day what it was. And it's just that she didn't take me seriously when I was really, really sick. And it's fine because I was just in a lot of pain for a long time. But like, that gave me a good head about me. You know, I respect the 3 weeks a month that I wasn't having a baby. And that's, now that I've had 2 babies, I know exactly, I can tell you for sure that endometriosis is like having a baby. It is like transition off and on for the entire, however long you have it. And it's very painful. And so, and I remember I'd ride around and I would try relaxing, I would try everything. And by the way, part of why I'm telling you this, Olivia, is that you probably have endometriosis because it's hereditary. But I hope I've given you enough good karma so that yours isn't that bad. Mom gave me some pretty bad karma for mine, apparently. Either mom or grandma. Or, I mean, mom or my dad's side of the family. But no, I don't think it was dad's side of the family. Anyway. I'm exploring my religious beliefs too, and Buddhism and Hinduism, and well, actually all of them have bits and pieces that seem to fit together in this big cosmic puzzle. I need to go lay back down and go to sleep because I'm just tired. But the thing is, you were born with a very, very strong will, just like Mommy. And I had to get beat on my butt with a spanking paddle until I cried mercy. And my daddy, who's Pop is a big softie. Y'all saw when he freaked the fuck out because I threw a can and it went by his head and he said I was trying to throw stuff at him. And I was like, shut the fuck up. So here's the problem. Your daddy has a temper. And your daddy is the best Papa Bear I ever could have gotten, you guys. See, that's the funny part for anybody else who's listening to this very adult conversation for my kids, is that there's a paradoxical effect of marrying a psychopath. I know that my kids are fine. I ain't worried about my kids. The only time I worried about my kids is when I got a picture of me and Olivia and Landon wasn't in it, and I thought that he was trying to tell me, I took the threat as, Landon's gone, bitch. But he was saying Landon's mine. He was saying you can have her, I think. And then his mom wrote on the back of the picture. It was just really weird and bizarre and not really mind-fucky, but also, hey, cool, noted. But that means Olivia. I keep seeing this scene. I don't know if it's a premonition, but I see you mouthing off and him popping you real good in the mouth. He has never hit me like that, but you sometimes say stuff that is real disrespectful because you listen to your mommy, and I need to be a little bit better about that. And that was the problem, is that like every time I see you at home, my dad would be talking about all this adult stuff, and that's why every time every person who was like, oh no, we're being very respectful. And I'm like, yeah, but except for one of Landon's friends' dads, who's a single dad, was like, hey, you want to come over and smoke some pot? And I was like, why would you ask me that? And he's like, well, Landon told me and Blake that you're a drug addict, so I figure you might want to come get high and have sex. And I was like, well, I always knew you had something for me. He's like, yeah, well, I was respectful, but apparently you got a boyfriend too. And I was like, oh, how many things did he tell you? He's like, not too much, but I think he's a little man now because he heard a little too much one day. And I said, uh-oh. I said, well, yeah, he walked in actually. And, you know, we had a very jovial conversation about it, and it was fine. But that is actually what also drove my son to start having panic attacks and stuff, because he feels like I left my husband and got, you know, a boyfriend, and that suddenly everything in their lives changed, so much so that, you know, everybody destroyed mommy. That poor boy had to see me get abused by a man who was not my boyfriend. He saw them talk back to me. He saw them treat me so bad. And what was funny is one of them that was actually very, very nice. He's such a nice guy, but he's got a real bad problem. And my son walked up to him and said, hello, my name is Landon Ryan Sarah. Nice to meet you. And he had his hand. And the guy was like, and I said, he hasn't done that to anybody else, so he must be a good guy. Just keep using your intuition, guys. Keep being awesome. I just have a feeling I'm not going to see you this whole year. And you're going to be so big. Thank God I got all the little young years. One last thing. I know we talked about what happened with the night the daddy fell down the stairs. Remember? And you guys agreed that you're no longer mad at Cody for that, and that you are, you know, oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, it does. Sure does. So here's the thing. I feel like there's a game going on around this town, and I have a feeling that you guys are gonna be the targets. And I've been trying to tell the police that, and they don't want to listen to me, but they don't know that I started a turf war with the really, really bad people, and that I was Helena Troy, but not really. I was, this dude owes us some money. Let's get her. And the problem is that I love your, I would never have introduced him if you weren't going to be able to call him Daddy Cody one day. And I know you met him as a friend, but, you know, as soon as Landon pointed out the fact that he was in love with me, remember, you stopped seeing him for a long time. He is very, very naive. He is very, very stupid. And he does not understand that when he does a bad thing to do, I know I'm not supposed to do a bad thing to do either, but that doesn't make me the bad guy. And he was pushing me to be the bad guy. And when I finally was, he made me a target. And it's funny because I still struggle with the honor thing. Was he trying to make me a more honorable woman? Was he trying to put me in my place? Was he trying to just find a random chick that he didn't care about to destroy, which is what it feels like. That feels like the original intent. I look like his ex-girlfriend. She's the one who deserved the beatdown. But he loved her so much, he didn't want to do it to her, so he found one to look like her. So you see what I'm saying, just like how I was saying. So he like, hey bitch, watch me destroy this chick and make her kill herself. And, you know, now you got to deal with the fact that that was all because of you. And she doesn't even know that and doesn't care at all because she's madly in love with the man she cheated on him with, which wasn't right of her. But he also needs to stop putting his boys in his girls' bedrooms and accusing them of having sex when they're not. Anyway, that was a little too grown up for you guys. I'm sure Daddy will filter these. But by the way, I see I can't address. So if my ex-husband were to watch this, I hope you understand that I never invited that man into my house. I did fuck him outside on top of not his car because he didn't have one. But I didn't invite him in. He likes to talk about it like I did. That's some sick shit. And you are a sick motherfucker. And I really can't wait for you to think and stop taking it out on me when you didn't bother to ask me why I suddenly did the most retarded thing that you never thought I was capable of. Remember how I stuck by you and was a very, very good wife and pretended to be strong and then cried at work and all that stuff? I thought you were worth it. Show me that I don't have to take my children back and make sure that they know what a piece of shit their father is. Because you aren't. And by the way, I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to the world. I put his ex-girlfriend was one of those. I mean, it's just trashy people. You're just trashy trash people. Like, I figure that you know that you're like a throwaway, I guess. Because otherwise, why would you act like one? But his throwaway used Daddy for all his money. Got him to just desperately fall in love with her son, and he was so happy, and that was how I knew he was going to be a great daddy. So she did you a favor. See the paradox there. But the girl was very not nice, and one day we were at neighbor's place because Daddy and I had worked there, but we didn't work there anymore. And I remember Daddy's face. He was we were sitting there, and then he suddenly looked like he was gonna vomit, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And I looked around. I was like, "What? And I see her go, "Oh, hey, your poor father only had one girlfriend before me, which is why I recommend you date in high school, but you're not. I hope that it's not that long until I see you, dear Jesus." But so I was only his second girlfriend ever. So when his first girlfriend walks in, he's like heartbroken, but also like, so I was like fine with that. But then he had to go to the bathroom, which I was like, oh my God, he's got to go cry. Because she looked great. I don't know what she looked like before, but she looked like a great, pretty chick, just like me. And then she and the girls, and I heard one of her girls go, "Did you see the ring on her finger?" And then they were like teasing her and stuff, and I heard all of it, and I sat there listening to the catty tones. I didn't want to like actually hear the words because I didn't want to hear exactly what they thought of me, because I know what I think of me, and they don't know what I think of me. Which, by the way, I wasn't that great of a girl all the time, but like I remember my very first boyfriend really did me dirty. For no reason other than that we were just stupid kids. That's why you should not have sex until you're old enough to understand it and appreciate it and be able to raise a baby. So whenever you feel ready to raise a baby, go on, buddies, go on and have sex. But, I mean, not with each other. I shouldn't have had to say that, but unfortunately, Daddy Cody had some friends that... Anyway, so... when you say, I could raise a baby all by myself, then you can start having sex. And I'll be more than happy to make sure that you ask yourself that question and whatever. But if you're going to be childish about it, if you're going to use the child against other people, like how Daddy did you guys with me and all that stuff, which I know that you guys probably don't see it that way right now because he's probably telling you all of those horrible things that your grandma told me that he's telling you guys and telling everybody, and the fact that nobody will talk to me right now. But anyway, which I don't even care at this point because I'm like, whatever. The only reason that I don't have anybody is that Daddy made me get rid of all my friends because he has some issues himself, some abandonment issues, which is what you guys are gonna have because of me. So like, look, you're just creating a cycle. But be careful when you're having sex. Be careful with how you choose to express your love. Please wait 3 months of knowing somebody before being intimate like that. There's something about that 3-month mark where I'm like, I like him. And then you get that smile and you're like, this could work. And then you can make stupid decisions and break each other's heart because you've gotten to know each other well enough that you know he's not a psychopath. You know she's not going to slash your tires. You know, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, for Cody, for instance, he was trying to, I got to know him pretty well the first couple weeks that we knew each other. He was very helpful. I had a really good feeling about him. And that's why he was my friend. He was my handyman and blah, blah, blah. I was letting him borrow my car because he was respectful and all that. And I really had a great feeling about this guy. I was like, I even paid for his rehab 1 month for him to live there. It was $900 some odd. And I was like, you know what? Dude, I think you're a really cool guy. And I think that you're going to be a really amazing person one day. And I believe in you enough to invest this in you. But please try to pay me back, okay? And he was like, of course. And I was like, awesome. And so I don't know what about that challenged his manhood so much, especially seeing as how he was like using me in a way that I was like, I don't care because this is fun. But the problem is he ended up stealing so much money. And his poor mother, it's funny because I know y'all remember Nona because and Catherine, oh, Olivia and Catherine, you guys are so cute. That was the thing, is I hated him when I started realizing what he was doing. And even his mom kept going, I know he loves you. And I wanted to be like, bitch, are you stupid? Because I don't know what he's doing, but you do because you raised him. So, tell me. And we had so many conversations where, like, she just was like, I know he loves you. And I'm like, stop. Let's just stop with this. It's just so stupid. Some people are sick in their minds. Some people are damaged by design. Some are damaged by nature. Some are damaged by nurture. I don't know how to say this. Let me tell you this. I dated a guy who lived in England, and I remember when he told me his deepest, darkest secret, and it was that he had killed a baby chick with his bare hands. And I said, how'd you do it? He was like, I was holding it, and it was so cute, and I just started squeezing it, and I remember its little eyeballs started popping out, and I popped. And it felt so good. And I feel so bad about it. And I looked at him, and I was like, I thought you were going to tell me a real story. Thank you. Because you just showed me a real man that I am never going to have to worry about. And the way that works is that he has sat there and had life in his hand and popped it and then felt so bad that he still thinks that's the worst thing he's ever done. And it was just a baby chick. And by the way, I've accidentally stepped on frogs. My brother used to chuck them at me because I always wanted to like kiss a frog and have Prince Charming pop up. And so he would chuck them at me and then they would splatter. And so, I'm so embarrassed saying that because there are so many people who did not struggle. The struggle is not real, guys. I thought you were joking. So you're going to start seeing some really creepy shit, guys. I just listened to a commercial where it was an ADT commercial from this this Canadian twin team that they're awesome. They're twins. And I've always said, like, oh my God, I bet they are just gonna just one day snap. And they did. He's like, do a commercial for ADT, and he's smiling this big just like I am right now. And then he's like, you're gonna be hearing from us in ADT a whole lot more pretty soon. And I was like, oh, it's on. It's on. They really are. So here's the problem. God told me that I am kind of a special person. There's like the Lady Liberty, like Lady Justice kind of thing. Anyway, I think I'm going to be the referee in a very unfortunate game. That's why you guys are off limits for the people who are honorable and who are actually doing a very big thing underground. But, which by the way, I don't know this for sure. I'm just, God told me. So I'm going to California. I'm just going to see. I'm just going to see what happens. But the retards who have something to do with Dakota, who all seem to think that I broke his heart. They all have been messing with my head. Thinking they're messing with my head. They're not really. But I'm worried about you too, and because of Daddy's health condition. Oh, that's why I wanted closure with Dakota, because I figured that, you know, if we got closure, he wouldn't be a jackass. But I have an image in my head. I had a nightmare, actually. That's what it was. Of Daddy he fell over, and and Dakota was on a horse, and next to his friend Amanda, she was on a horse too. And he looked down and he said, "Don't worry with him. He's gonna probably have to crawl his way back to the house anyway." And I remember that I was sobbing and holding my children and was saying, "No, no, no." And Landon got out of my arms, ran to Daddy, and he said, "Don't you touch my daddy again." And he was like, "Landon, I'm gonna respect you, but it's because you're mommy." And he left Landon, and then as I turn around, Olivia, oh my God, I just have to, she's like red faced, like, oh, that whole like, oh, and screaming. And she loves Cody. And so I was like, if this was any kind of a dream with any kind of, like, I need to just be conscious of the fact that this boy thinks that I did something to him. It's so unfortunate that I have to say that. And I really hope that his family doesn't see this and think that I'm being a bitch. I'm being a woman of honor, because he dishonored me. And I now almost feel like y'all put him up to it. That's all this paranoia and stuff. By the way, when I say that there's a cult after me, I'm not saying that because I'm methed out of my head or any of the wonderful things that I'm pretty certain your young man has done to these other girls. But I know that he saved me for a long time, because he was thinking he was scary. But I just called my reinforcements in, and we're gonna show you what scary looks like, guys, if you fuck with me again. By the way, that's not a threat, that's a defensive warning. Because I'm gonna go to California and have this little trip and have fun, have a road trip, and, you know, not worry about the car that you guys stole, because, hey, he owns a car lot. He used to run a car lot. Anyway, but his dad, anyway, his whole family. Also, he's got a Purple Heart. I don't think you do. Right? Right, guys? Like, did any one of you do anything after high school? Or sorry, like, one of you is really, really cute, and you dated a black woman, and you sat there lying to her in my house, and I was like, nope, he's at a woman's house, and he was like, shh, and I was like, the thing is that, like, she is a woman of honor. I can see just from her picture. I haven't met her yet, and you're lying like a little bitch, and I know she ain't your sugar mama because she's working her ass off, and you don't live together. Like, sugar mamas, we're gonna put you in our house, we're gonna make sure that the doors are locked during the day, and we're gonna give you something to put your dick in if you got a problem, but we're not letting you ride around driving chicks around like you, like, whatever. And also, like, I know you were being respectful to me because you're your boy, and so that's the thing. Like, I was just like, oh, he seemed like such a good guy, but you stole $5 from me for a girl who's worth $5, to be honest with you. But I keep asking you for cigarettes because I want one. And you don't understand that cigarettes are one of the scariest things ever, because they are killers and they are so addictive. And there have been a lot more times that I've been freaking the fuck out over a cigarette and not realized it than I really care to mention. So I'm getting off on a tangent. I really am just tired. Oh, one last thing. There's a man I realized who is thinking he's fucking with me. Because he was like, oh yeah, and I called a girl over and we're about to have sex. And I was like, okay, great. Get your game face on. You prepped? Got your Viagra? Because I know you're getting a little older. And then we had a really philosophical conversation about sex, and it was wonderful. But I'm not really interested because he called it a booty call. Even gentlemen, they don't use. It's worthless. Not worth explaining. I don't know. I'm just really disappointed because I've lived in this city for 15 years. Until I got extradited to this town over. And you know, all of the retarded fish frogs that think that they are people have been screwing people over left and right. And then you did like one of those you threw out your virgin sacrifice and you killed one of your own. But then someone tried to kill me. And it's been fucking with my head because I'm like, you killed that poor girl. To put her out of her misery, I guess. Telling me like, you know, because I know I tried to kill myself to put myself out of my misery. But like, I'm back and blah, blah, blah. And Dakota never paid enough attention to really tell y'all the whole story. But here's the thing. I'm not afraid of you. I do get spooked. And sometimes I have a hard time sleeping at night. But that's the thing. What are you trying to do? Because I just called my friend Tom. And I hope that he's been helping y'all. Because if not, Tom and I are about to have a lot of fun around these parts. A lot of fun. I like how I made that sound all scary, by the way. If you don't know me, we're probably, so this guy like raped me and stole my car. We're going to get the car back. I'm not worried about it. If I don't get the car back, I've already filed the insurance claim. Something's going to work out here. But the fact that the police are conspiring with some of these retards, you know, shows me that there's a lot of inbreeding in this town. Also shows me that the one family I found that that really just kills me, that man is so much of a man, it's incredible. And I hope he joins my team as we, you know, kick our way across the United States with little cans and pretend that we're poor for a little bit. And just do whatever. Because I was such a golden child that like all the little rich kids adopted me. And I didn't ever really appreciate it as much as I should have. But I do now. And I tell them. And I also appreciate all the opportunities I've been given by, you know, I had a rich old lady pay for my college because she liked me. I had the Daughters of the American Revolution award dinner that I went to. They all just adored me so much that, like, I have a few cards that I was looking at that I have their numbers and stuff. And I mean, I am a Daughter of the American Revolution, by the way. I'm also kin to tribes people. I'm pretty sure I'm, like, Pocahontas kind of stuff because of the area that I'm in. And I feel like Pocahontas is like my great aunt or something. You know, like I feel like that tradition. So by the way, this is actually really funny too because y'all keep calling yourselves Vikings. Yodel-oo-doo-doo-doo-doo is for a reason. And y'all are gonna hear it. You're gonna hear the battle cry of the Republic and all that shit. But just don't be one of those people who adopts like a culture as their own. If you want to deny your own, you know, it's like if you are going to do something, commit to it. Like Dakota, part of his heritage is Italian. And he doesn't talk about his father's side, but I believe that that's where we're connected through some Viking traditions. But I'm so much more of that heritage than he is because I celebrated it my whole life growing up. I hate it when people say that they're Italian. Oh yeah, I'm Italian. And I'm like, what Italian stuff do you do? And a lot of them that are immigrant families that stuck to it, God almighty, yes, you're Italian. But the thing is, I worked at an Italian restaurant. It was really owned by Uruguayans. And when I found out that what Uruguay is and all that, I was like, oh, I'm sufficiently scared and impressed and respect. It's just to call yourself Italian over and over and over again, and then when I feel your grandmother's spirit and like respect the fuck out of it, why would you disrespect me? I wasn't making fun of you. I was feeling it. And if you don't feel it, you're disrespecting her. And I just felt her say yeah. So I gave you the opportunity to do the right thing. And if you really are in jail, that's why you're in jail. If you're on the run, that's why you're on the run. You're going to get caught because you fucked with me when I didn't do anything wrong to you. I'm not perfect. I sit here all the time thinking about like, oh, I was a bitch then. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, God, and I put that person in their place. Oh, I said that thing I didn't mean to say. I'm aware of all the things that I do. And then the thing is, it comes down to your fortitude. This is going on way too long, but this is for my kids too. But if I'm going to do or say something, it's because it's in me and I believe in it. So I did not stupidly post about racism on Facebook when I'm not black, because I don't want to get murdered. Because if somebody started fucking with my heritage, like you little pieces of shits, and started pretending to be Vikings, I'm going to show you what an Iron Maiden looks like. I just realized the double entendre. I'm the Iron Maiden, but I'm not gonna like put you in an Iron Maiden. That would be way too heavy. By the way, we need to stop sending people to like mental hospitals and stuff like that when you realize that someone invented an Iron Maiden and everybody's like, cool. Yeah, snowflakes. We are melting. Landon and Olivia, I just really hope that the nightmares that I had are because I'm a snowflake and that you guys just end up so happy as you grow older, because I just don't know what Lynchburg is going to look like. It looks like the perfect place to be fine. But damn it, those next door neighbors of ours that moved in right at the end there, they ruined everything. They're the reason that they're a big part of the reason you guys got taken away. They literally took it to the fucking mayor of our town that we should not be able to date anymore, and they signed a petition that Robin Oyster and Dakota Johnson were no longer allowed to date. And that killed your father, because I hope that didn't go on the news. I actually just realized I don't even know if it did or not. I mean, it's just stupid. And then there was like a woman pretending to run for office or something, and I'm pretty sure she was like a private investigator or a reporter or something like that. Trying to get information from us. Like, your daddy just built a mess because he was mad at me. He doesn't understand that, like, I got pulled into the mess with the retard. So I just keep feeling like I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up in ropes and chains, and I'm gonna be like, God damn it, but whatever, I don't care. I don't know what a question mark is. Why are you writing? What? I was just finishing up anyway. Right? All the people who comment end up